なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. If I didn't say it, you wouldn't believe it, but the 8th anniversary is just around the corner. I still feel like we're in the tail end of the 7th anniversary. What happened? You're telling me Namek Goku and Ultra Full Power Frieza are already a year old? It feels like I've been running into those guys, well, more like Ultra Namek Goku, since the very beginning. But either way, with the 8th anniversary rapidly approaching, I figured we'd do a quick little prediction video. Remember, this is just a prediction, so if we're wrong, then we're wrong, but I think it'd be fun to try to guess what we could see, especially because Legends decided to say that this is a very unpredictable anniversary. So let's just jump right into it, starting with the unpredictable phrase. I think Legends is just pulling everyone's strings here. I think calling it unpredictable is just like the PS Vita reveal for E3. What do they call it? They're like, oh, this is the worst kept secret of E3. I think that's what they're doing here, calling it unpredictable when it really is super predictable. And super predictable is coming from the fact that we got some clues during this quiet period leading up to when part 1 begins, starting with the Yellow Turles Zenkai Awakening. A yellow, powerful opponent movie saga character gets a Zenkai, and as of recording this, we are being teased about another character getting a Zenkai Awakening, and with the keen eye of the community, we deduce that the Zenkai Awakening is going for the Super Saiyan God Goku from the Broly movie. Saiyan movie Zenkai Awakening, yellow powerful opponent Saiyan Zenkai Awakening. I think you guys both know, paired alongside the cool art of the 8th anniversary teaser image, I feel strongly that the 8th anniversary is going to be going with Dragon Ball Super Broly. Specifically, they're going to be going with a Super Saiyan Legend Gogeta and a Super Saiyan Legend Broly. Finally, we get respects to the big boy Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly specifically. But remember, part 1 is supposed to be the heavy hitter. The opening theme is meant to be super strong because it's used in the promotional material. It's used as the incentive to draw new players. It's also meant to motivate veteran players to return to the game that may be taking a break. So a theme as powerful as Dragon Ball Super Broly would be perfect. Everybody loves Gogeta, everybody loves Broly, and with Legends introducing the new Legend rarity, you can see where their main marketing selling point is going to be for these two characters, the Legends action. For Gogeta, I think his Legend action is going to be a high to low area, chainable blue, which is the Stardust Fall. You may have remembered this move when I did the Z tier boosted revisit for the old blue transforming Super Saiyan Gogeta. It feels like a summonable Gogeta hasn't had this move since that character's release, and it's an iconic move. Because Gogeta in the movie did it from a high area and shot it all down below against Broly, I think a high to low area chainable blue would be perfect. For Broly, I think it's going to be from a low to high area, similar to what Legend Bardock has, and his is going to come from when they're in the new dimension that they break, and they punch out of it. Broly punches Gogeta out of the new dimension. I think they're going to go with that for his Legends action. Low to high area, blue card, hard punch against what looks to be the invisible wall out of the dimension. I think they're going to go with that. Now, another thing is going to be typing, and one other thing. At this point, Legends has heavily pushed a ton of strong yellow characters. We have the likes of Legend Bardock, we have the likes of the Yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we have an overwhelming number of powerful yellow characters, and they have been very stingy with releasing strong reds to deal with it. And at the same time, the bait banner before the Legends anniversary starts is this Xenoverse 2 collab with the head honcho being a blue Legend Rosé. Therefore, I think red and green are going to be part 1. Not just because these two typings synergize well if you want to run them together, but I think they have made this strong need for these elements in the meta. The Legend Rarity Wheel, the superior elements, they haven't finished red and green, and I think the anniversary is the perfect time to do it. They always do this. Anyways, they always make a pressing need for a specific type, and a major celebration is when they sell it. A good example is the 4th anniversary, where we needed a strong red, and the 4th anniversary red MUI became that character. So in this case, I think what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and give the red to Gogeta, and they're going to give the green to the Broly. So that's what I think is going to be part 1. A red Legend Super Saiyan Gogeta with a green Legend Super Saiyan Broly. Now, of course, each one of these parts includes Zenkai Awakenings and unique equips. I think some really strong choices for part 1 would be give a unique equip to the Synchro Gauge Gogeta Blue. Yes, I think it's time that he gets a much needed unique equip. Some people might feel that that's a character that needs more than just a unique. The Assault Chain mechanic wasn't powerful enough for the character to really shine, but I would argue that the unique equips we've seen this year have done more than enough to bring characters back into the meta.
You, on the other hand, well, you're a pit of despair. Frank, you disgust me.
I think Nappa is just a fantastic example of that. This character felt like he had a relatively bare bones kit, and yet here he is, just being a force in the meta. So a unique equip for the Synchro Gauge Gogeta would be perfect. Chef's kiss. And then a Zenkai Awakening, I think it should go to the Red Broly. LF Red Broly that has the no switching mechanic. This was a character that was done dirty. I also think this guy would fit pretty well because we've had so many powerful yellow characters in the meta that introducing yet another powerful red character is the kind of thing to keep things in check. But this character could Zenkai buff to new legend, and if not that, just give respect to an old LF that never really had a chance to shine. When he had his release, although no switching is a powerful mechanic, the poor guy suffered from key issues. I always find it weird how a character in the show that has infinite ki always has key issues in the games. I don't understand it, but I think a Red Broly Zenkai Awakening and a unique equip to the Synchro Gauge Gogeta to pair with the Legend Gogeta as well as the Legend Broly would be a super strong part 1. Now, for part 2, this one, I'm going to borrow a chapter from Dokkan's book. Typically, when we have part 2s, they're meant to be still strong in their own way. They want to maintain the hype of the celebration. It's still the anniversary, but they don't want it to be something that just overtakes what part 1 is. Part 1 is still meant to be the face of the celebration. They still want to keep using that marketing material, still want it to be the grand opener to everything. But obviously, they don't want to dampen on the hype. And borrowing those two facts together, as well as what Dokkan did, I think a part 2 that would be pretty awesome is a prep mode Majin Buu Saga Spirit Bomb, as well as a prep mode GT Universal Spirit Bomb. Dokkan used the idea of double Spirit Bomb to form an 8. I think that's a very cool way of representing the number, and I think Legends saw that, or is going to see that, and takes inspiration from it. Both Legends and Dokkan typically borrow ideas from one another. Some of our celebrations have been previous Dokkan celebrations, and vice versa, like the 7th anniversary part 1, for example. I think this would be a perfect thing to nab and bring over as a part 2. Earlier in this year, we've seen some Majin Buu Saga buffs. We got our hands on the Ultra Buuhan as well as the Plat equip for Ultra Kid Buu. And then for GT, we got our hands on the Yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku unique equip, bringing a resurgence for the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Prep mode is also a mechanic that not only do people like, but it seems like Legends finally remembered it existed. Back when we had the Buu Duo as well as the Gammas, the prep mode was a pretty well received mechanic, except Legends just did nothing with it for a couple of years. But earlier, we got our hands on the Ultra Sword of Hope Trunks with his Prep Mode Final Hope Slash. So I think they're going to bring it back. They're going to release more Prep Mode characters, and I think that's a very strong part 2. Not only that, but if they go with that as a part 2, I can already see a pretty well diverse meta, something that we want to really maintain, because typically with these major celebrations we all gravitate towards one individual team and it just doesn't become fun to deal with. But if they follow with what we have so far, we're looking at Fusion Warriors, Movie Saga, Powerful Opponent, a little bit of Majin Buu Saga, GT of course. I think that's already looking pretty great. So that's my part 2. Prep mode, Spirit Bomb Majin Buu Saga versus a Prep mode Spirit Bomb GT Universal Spirit Bomb. Now when it comes to typing, I think this one is going to be a little trickier. You're going to want to look towards what respective tags they want to focus on, but I think it wouldn't do too bad if they decided to go with something that doesn't compete with the red and green in terms of part 1. So they would probably want to go with either a Legend Blue for the Majin Buu Saga prep mode, which I think they'd go with. And then for GT, I could see them going with a Legend Purple. So blue and purple for part 2. And when it comes to unique equips and Zenkai Awakenings, you guys already know where I'm going with this one. I think my Buu duo need a second unique equip. They were the ones to usher in this new mechanic. They were a character that got a very early unique equip that didn't hit the mark. Then they got a very fast Zenkai Awakening, and the conjunction of all the buffs that they got just made them barely passable. I've seen them do some amazing things. Let this be an opportunity to get them back into the meta. Not to mention, this is a character that was not let down by animations. I've said this before, but I think this character is not only cool visually, but conceptually, and it just never had that opportunity to be respected or appreciated for what it brought to the table. So I think a second unique is a very easy way of getting that back into the game. So let's do that. Second unique equip for the Buu duo, a Blue Legend Prep Mode Majin Buu Saga Spirit Bomb, as well as a Legend Purple GT Spirit Bomb for part 2. All right, for part 3. Now this one might be a head scratcher for some people, but I hope my reasoning is good enough for this. I think part 3 is gonna be Daima. Yes, I know, but I'm gonna give my reasoning for it. I think we're gonna go with a Ultra Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But I also think he's not gonna be alone. Perhaps this is where Legends comes back with the unpredictable aspect of the anniversary. I think they're gonna go with a Ultra Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku with a Legend Goma on one banner though. I think they'll put them on one singular banner. And here's my reasoning for it. Number 1, Daima doesn't have an Ultra yet. Daima is the newest tag, doesn't have an Ultra yet. Everybody else has one. I think they're due for that. Number 2, and this is the biggest reason why, we are getting the return of Dragon Ball later in the year. Once that returns, everyone's eyes are going to be looking far past Daima. I think the best possible time to release all these buffs for Daima was yesterday, but the second best time is going to be today. You may have noticed, but they've gone out their way to avoid Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, we've had 2 Daima celebrations with one character being a Mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku before he gets pummeled from Goma. I think they've deliberately withheld him to release him now. 2 Daima celebrations with not pushing the needle whatsoever, but releasing virtually everything except for the main antagonist and the biggest transformation of the show. I think they're going to pair them together as the finale for this anniversary. One singular banner. Ultra Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku with a Legend Goma. Thus wrapping up Daima when it comes to its buffs, and then people can just look far past it. That's what I think they're going to go with, and I assume that's how they're going to be seeing it as well. I think this is more of their effort to just try to get as much as they can out of Daima now, because everyone's going to be looking far past it later on. that's going to be my finale. I think that's pretty good. People may raise their eyebrows at that fact, but number one, Daima is still the newest piece of Dragon Ball media. Number two, it is true, Daima still needs its Ultra. And number three, this is the biggest one, we still need our main antagonist. Goma not being represented anywhere at all, I think this checks off all those boxes, still maintains the idea of having a relatively diverse and healthy quote-unquote meta. I think that's going to work out pretty good. And more importantly, I feel like it touches so many different tags. I think this is a very fun way of just bringing a little bit for everybody here. And when it comes to the typing, I think for the legend, I think they're going to go with a yellow legend Goma. And when it comes to the Ultra Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think they're going to go with red. The best part about this, though, the plat equip for the Ultra. I think they're going to give it to Janemba. Ultra Janemba. Number one, because they already started with buffing up movies in part one. But number two, just to have a little bit of fun with it. Remember in Daima, when they gave us a little bit of lore, saying that if you got the pointy ears, you're part of the demon realm? Janemba has pointy ears. Boom, there you go. It's sort of like a funny Ultra character that needs a buff up. Because if you look at the roster of Ultras right now that need a power up, virtually everyone that could use a plat equip has gotten their hands on one. But the one that stands out the most to me is Janemba. And the funny thing is with the pointy ears, you can tie Janemba back to Daima. You can find a little relation between the two things. That little bit of lore that they gave us, and here's an appropriate character that could get a power up, paired alongside a buff that we've already seen for part one, being Movie Saga and Powerful Opponent. So that's what I'm thinking is going to be my anniversary prediction. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. At the end of the day, it's just a prediction. It's up to them to decide what they do, whether they do better, whether they do worse. We'll have to see what Legends comes up with. But at the end of the day, I just hope it's something that brings a lot of fun to the game, gives an opportunity for everyone to not only express the teams, the tags that they like the most, but everyone to enjoy, and just brings hype to the game. I feel like that new second wind, that breath of fresh air that comes with what they've been working on the last little while is an exciting time for the game. And I hope, above all things, it achieves bringing its excitement to the game. So you let me know in the comment section below what you think. What would your preferred picks be? What do you think is more appropriate? This is just my own prediction. Maybe you have your own. I'd love to hear it. Let's discuss. But until next time, guys, anniversary is very, 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 very close. I hope you're saving. I hope you're not spending any CC on any bait banners, because once it's here, it's going to be hype. But until next time, peace.